But he was already doing this thing.
The Source had the Lost Boys. I'm in high school and I open the Source shit and I'm like, the Lost Boys,
yeah, that shit
they really got a deal. I'm like, Lifestyle to the Rich and Shameless.
Right.
I'm like, hell, I'm like, this is there another Lost Boy? And I go home from school and they like, yo, Cheeks and them niggas got a deal. I'm like, niggas from Southside Jamaica, Queens. I still got chills on my arms like, Southside niggas is on.
Quietly, that's the shit that made me want to write for the Source.
Really?
They put Southside niggas in the Source. I was like,
crazy.
Wait a fucking minute.
It blew my mind like seeing Rafer on the fucking Slam magazine. That was the biggest thing.
Oh, that was
around
crazy.
the same time seeing Rafer on Slam as the best player you never seen.
Nigga.
That Southside, we was going crazy.
Yeah,
that shit was nuts.
We was going bonkers at that time.
You see all of it? All I wanted to do was get to like where Cheeks and Spank was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cause they was like the MCs that was like kings of the park.
Everybody knew him. It's like Cormega before he, like Cormega in the park gym.
Right.
Like everybody knew who Cormega was. You just outside of the hood, outside of the barbershops, you didn't know.
You didn't know.
But if you was from Queens,
if you was there,
and niggas said Mega, everybody was like,
Cormega.
A nice nigga from the park. Oh yeah.
And
What's up with
that was their side. That was on the Queenswood side.
Cheeks
on
was the
our
nigga
side,
for that.
Cheeks and Spank and rest in peace, Corey.
The only nigga, I just want to jump in, the only nigga that ever came out there that was not from Queens, that was in Park Jams was Redman. Redman was in Queens. Redman was in Queens. Redman was all over Queens. And he did famous freestyles all over Queens. And that Montebello Park went down. And he did that same rhyme on EPMD Project.
Was it Biz on the turntables when he did the shit at Montebello Park?
I don't remember. I was young. I was on the gate. I remember seeing him. I was standing on the speaker. Because who was the big? I can't remember the big DJ from Queens at that time. Because he was doing all the park jams. Nah, it wasn't GMV.
It wasn't GMV.
GMV was the biggest nigga from Queens. But he wasn't the park nigga that was doing.
And GMV wasn't going to that side.
He wasn't going to Montebello. It was like, I can't remember who it was.
Shout out GMV.
But I stood on the speaker, so I was a hip hop baby standing on the speaker watching Redman spit. Going dumb when nobody knew him, and then buying the record and saying, "That's the same shit."
He said that at Montebello.
I got to the mom. I was like, "Oh my god, I love this shit."
Same rhyme from EPMD.
This shit is amazing.
From Headbanger.
Yeah, Headbanger. No.
It was
the Rampage.
I got it going on. Since I'm up next to Flex, you could bet I drop heavy, so girls grab your Kotex.
This nigga is sick.
The name of the record. That's the rhyme. That's the rhyme.
That nigga was a
When I heard Reggie, I was like, "There's nobody ever heard better."
Yeah, I was like, that nigga is.
I didn't even know Reggie was from Jersey.
Yeah, nobody knew.
Hold on, because we get on track. We get on track.
That's Queens Euphoria. My bad.
So Cheeks got the deal. Now,
I want to say it kind of was happening at the same time. I was just shooting to be regarded like they was in the park.
Right.
No one was on yet. But that night changed everything. And then lo and behold, I got off stage and Chuck was with Irv. And
Irv Gotti? Okay.
I don't call him that, but anyway. Chuck, right. He was with Irv. I was faded. Like I was high, we drank some Danies, I was like gone, nigga. It might even be some Mad Dog 2020 that popped off.
Jesus Christ.
Man.
Or Blackberry Brandy. You know, back then if you was fucking with MD 20, the niggas like, you gonna be in a box after that.
Right.
So I'm tore up completely.
How old are you at this time?
17 going on 18.
So it's happening fast.
Super fast.
Okay.
So all I remember is he introduced me to Irv, and somebody was playing one of the beats that niggas always rhyme to. And the nigga Irv was trying to talk to me, and I just grabbed that nigga around his neck or some like, yo, and I just started spitting in that nigga ear, and we was just bopping like this. And that nigga just did that laugh that you know, the laugh he do where he know, like, yeah. And he telling me, like, yo, I got a studio, but I remember being like, whatever. Like, I just wanted to rap. Nigga. It wouldn't have mattered who came up to me. But he was talking to me, he's like, yo, I got a studio, blah, blah, blah. We was talking, and we was cool, we was chopping it up for a second, and like every other party in Queens at the time, you heard the first crack, crack. Went down, now niggas is scattering out the gym. Yeah. I'm separated from niggas I came with, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think maybe that's why I say like my timeline shit is kinda, it's hard to remember the sequence of events. So I just remember him saying come to the studio, and I finally did. And it wasn't too long after the Park Jam shit, after the show at Liverpool, but I started noticing Chuck wasn't there. And Chuck was the nigga that plugged me to Irv.
Right.
So I went and he gave me the beat for Shit's Real. Ended up being the first thing I ever recorded in my life, like literally.
Now, who gave you that beat, Chuck or Irv?
I'm trying to remember which one of them gave me the tape with the beat on it. What I vaguely remember is there came a point where they was at odds with each other. And it had to do with who did the beat.
Right.
And mind you, I don't know all that shit. I wasn't there when young niggas was Pro Tool, whatever the fuck you did at that time to make a beat. But I do remember Chuck was getting tight. And I ask myself to this day if I can rightfully remember who did Shit's Real. I think it was kind of one of them things where one of them came up with the idea to use Denise Williams, the free sample.
And somebody cut it out.
And the other one was the one that actually constructed the beat.
Who got credit for it on the album?
Irv did.
Okay.
But if I'm not mistaken, I could be, don't get it wrong. I want to say, what I do remember is, I remember like Chucky had like a keyboard that he used to make beats. And I remember Irv had that machine, that
MPC?
Yeah. What I don't remember a lot of is watching Chuck work to make a beat. I remember Irv being on the MPC, because I remember the drums used to annoy me. Like his drums, that's when I started noticing the difference between the MP and the SP. Because I was used to like shit that Large would do where
he's taking the drum patterns from
dirty and you know, and them shits is, the snare doesn't sound like, all Irv shit would sound like wooden soldiers marching, like.
It wasn't humanized?
Huh?
It wasn't humanized? It was too robotic?
Facts. It sounded too...
That's where quantizing and stuff
It sounded too, like I said, any beat he did, I would picture like wooden soldiers walking like this. The fuck is this? But
that's funny.
He would tell me, and I give him that much. He would always be like, yo, I'm telling you, trust me, rhyme over this. So I would force myself to write to the shit, whatever. And then it would be fucked up because I would go to Large Crib, and that's like the nest. That's what I came up on. So you go to Large Crib, and I'll hear like nigga, I never forget being on the elevator, and you could hear down the elevator shaft.
Oh my God. It ain't hard to tell.
And me and my brother was like, yo, what the fuck is that?
Crazy.
And we got to the door.
But that's an unfair fight, Large Professor Irv Gotti. Stop it.
Look.
Stop it.
Nigga, you was who you was when you got here. I got shit to do with that. I'm just saying in terms of a nigga hearing music, like...
Yeah, like, you know, like in comparison.
That's an unfair fight.
Like halftime and...
So why wasn't you getting beats from Large?
I think what Large wanted was... Now, mind you, it's a lot of moving parts in the story, because
Large got a deal.
Right, and now here comes Nas. And Nas ends up moving to our block.
Wasteland.
And he ended up dealing with Carmen. Shout out to Nas, Carmen, all that.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.